Hello everyone. Today I'm going to present a presentation about ethics and neurotechnology. We all know that during this semester we have talked about the ethics and the importance of ethics in different civilizations and from era to another. And there are some principles that never change in ethics, which is universal ethics, and also there are some principles will change from a place to another, from a culture to another, from an era to another era. And today we talk about the ethics and the science of neurotechnology. Uh, Neurotechnology is a new science, and which for man is a new science for mankind, and it's developed very fast. And the advancement of neurotechnology has raised questions about its ethical issue. And in this presentation today, we learn about the benefits and the risks, or also the regulatory framework in this presentation. First of all, we should know about what's neurotechnology. As a definition, neurotechnology we can say is a two words. You can say two words. Neuro, which comes from neurons of brains in mankind, and the technology. In the definition, we can say neurotechnology is the application of technology in the studying and repairing and enhancing the human brain and its function. Neurotechnology is a science which study and works on the functions of a person's brain. And if a person have some disease on its brain, on his brain, by implementing this science, we can fix the brain, repair it, and enhance his functions by using some components. Because we use some components, some structural, technological structure in this brain, and we connect, like for example, a chip or like a hardware or a software, and we use scientific technique to gather and analyze and manipulate brain data. For example, if someone has Alzheimer disease, and he doesn't know the patient, like he doesn't know any person, doesn't recognize any place, any person. If we plant a chip on his brains and connect the brain to the chip, and inside the chip there are plenty of data of places, persons, names. By planting and connecting the chip and the brain, the person can recognize people, can recognize the places, can know the name, can remember everything. This is called analyzing and gathering, manipulating the data of brain by planting a chip. How this can be happen? By a method. The neurotechnology uses some advanced technological methods such as brain imaging, deep brain stimulation, and brain-computer interface known as BCI, to research and diagnose and treat neurological condition. Neurological condition, as we mentioned, like Alzheimer, the person can see the place but cannot recognize it. But by brain imaging, by providing the image of a place, of every place in the chip, and connecting the chip to the brain, the person can recognize everything and everyone. Neurotechnology has many benefits, and we mentioned three of them. One of them is medical benefits. The improved treatment for neurological disorders like Parkinson's disease, epilepsy, and chronic pain. Also, I mentioned Alzheimer disease, like how this science can help the person to recover his memory, to recognize place and everyone. The second benefit is cognitive, the enhancement of human memory, intelligence, decision making, and learning. By using this technology, you can help the person to make decision very clearly, and with open-minded and a clear view, a clear perspective. because the data inside like a computer, just like the computer can decide very fast and very exact by planting, using BCI, brain computer interface methods and techniques. You can help the person to make decision very fast and learns things in a very fast way. For example, in an educational field, you can, for example, the student doesn't need to study like Newton's law, like the 3 laws of Newton's. We can plan, achieve, and provide all information of the Newton laws in the chip, and the kid doesn't have to study it. He already know the laws, the history also. You can provide any data we want in the chip and connect the chip to the brain. One of the fields that neurotechnology we can get benefits of neurotechnology is the athletic, in this field of sport and athletic fitness. They improve training programs for athletes to enhance performance, prevent injuries, and shorten recovery time. It's also important to the athletics people. Along with the benefits of neurotechnology, we have some ethical issues we have to consider. There are many of considered issues, and we mentioned 4 of them, like privacy, autonomy, equality, and moral. The first one is privacy. The use of brain data raises concerns about privacy and security. When you plant a chip and brain-computer interface, you connect a technological machine to the brain, and the technological machine, as any other computers, everyone can get access to it, and maybe I can see what the person thinks about. For example, if I have a chip on my brain, and someone has a chip on his brain, my chip and his chip maybe connect, maybe by Bluetooth or maybe by Wi-Fi, and I can see what he thinks about, what are his emotions. So the concern of privacy, and when I have a chip and someone has a chip, we can exchange data between the chips, just like when a data exchange between 2 computers, 2 devices, So the issues of privacy will arise in this field of science. The other one is autonomy, the freedom, the free will of the person. When you plant a chip with brain-computer interface, we don't want to lose our free will, but the machine have its own independence. The machine acts like an AI. It have free will, maybe in far future. And the other one is equality. The accessibility of neurotechnology raises ethical questions about who gets access and who does not. The implementation of this BCI, computer brain interface, costs a lot of money. Some people can get access to this science, to this benefits, and so there are plenty of people who cannot. So the inequality will arise. The fourth one is the moral. The neurotechnology can blur the line between right and wrong and create moral dilemmas. And when you plant a chip and there are plenty of information and plenty of data inside the chip that goes from the chip goes to the brain and to the mind, can affect the person's thoughts, the person's perspective of life, of moral, of everything, even of the person's perspective of culture, of religion. So it creates a dilemma. So these are ethical issues we like the philosophers, the scientists, the doctors, and also the people should consider, because some of them is very dangerous. The regulatory framework for the use of neurotechnology. The first one is current state of regulations. There is currently no comprehensive regulatory framework governing the development and use of neurotechnology. There is no currently comprehensive regulation. But in the second one, we can say several organizations have called for regulatory guidelines to ensure that neurotechnology is used in a safe way and in ethical manner. There are some organizations in the world that are curious about the future of mankind and the danger of the science, and they are aware about its dangerous and its ethical issues. The third one is potential impact of regulation. Regulations can ensure safety and ethics in the development and use of neurotechnology, but they can also limit innovation and progress. When you want to use this science in the safe way, in the ethical way, you also put a limit in the improvement of the science. So, like we can say, the science is very sensitive. You cannot create a balanced treatment for this science. You either put a very district limitation for the improvement of the science, or either you let the science go and put the dangers in culture and the society. The potential risk of neurotechnology. We have three risks: physical risk, psychological risk, and social risk. The use of some neurotechnology, such as transitional direct current stimulation, can cause headaches, nausea, and allergic reaction. When you plant a chip, you connect a technological machine to a biological being, and of course, in this, there's a conflict will happen between the physical and the biological being and the technological being. So it causes a lot of disease. If the doctors or the scientist doesn't aware about, if he doesn't a professional at this science, it causes a lot of disease, and you put a risk in someone's life. Psychological risk, as we talked about, maybe it affects your thoughts. It creates anxiety, and the person maybe feel like the division of personality. And the person maybe thinks and feel that oh, I am a two person in one body, because the machine, the brain computer interface, have its own data, have its own information, and it's like a robot inside you. So it create unwanted side effect, like anxiety, addiction, and change in personality. You have the social risk of this science, when a person makes a person to be alone, to feel like more be alone, and it decrease the level of social interaction between people. And there is conflict between ethic and neurotechnology. In the ethic, we appreciate the value of human life, but we respect for autonomy, the free will, and the promotion of justice and fairness. But in neurotechnology, the promise of better health and cognitive, potential function to benefit society as a whole, opportunities for research and innovation. And in conclusions, we create ethical guidelines for development, and they ensure that the neurotechnology is accessible and equitable. And in the third point, we can encourage research to minimize risks and maximize the benefits. In the conclusion, neurotechnology has the power to change the world, but it also presents significant ethical issues and considerations, and also some dangerous risks. It's up to all of us to use this technology wisely, responsibly, and for the greater good of humanity. In this presentation, we talked about the benefits of this science, the ethical consideration, Like, what are the manners, what are the disadvantages and advantages of this science in the term of medical, in the term of sport and athletics, uh, and some dangerous risk. You mentioned it. You all, the doctors, the philosophers, and like the scientists, and also the people should aware about this science in near future to learn how to treat with this, and decide what to do with this science and what